All right. Happy Monday, everyone. Obviously, if you're in the stock market, you know that there is no market today due to President's Day. All right. But that doesn't stop us from being able to see what's setting up or what's to come for the next few months. So let's first start off with we have earnings this week. So we have some important earnings and then some that are not that important, meaning that they're not going to really move the market oh so much. So just watch out for them. You know, the earning calendar is out there, it's available for you guys to see everything that is actually reporting. I would say out of everything thus far that's on the list, the most important things are going to be Carvana, going to be Walmart, going to be Rivian, going to be Adobe, or no, sorry, Alibaba is going to be the other one that's going to report and have some effect on the market. Next thing that is going to be a key thing to watch out for the market is going to be the Fed minutes for January. It's going to be the home sales that are going to be talked about. So I would say either get out of your trades on Wednesday or don't trade until after that is, given to the market. You just never know. We are looking at SPY to approach all-time highs. It has already, and it just will continue to keep breaking those, providing everything that, earnings and the market conditions, rate hikes, things like that, our CPI are all good. So as of right now, we're in pretty good condition when it comes to the markets. So let's look at SPY. All right, I'm going to make this bigger. All right. So what we have for SPY is sitting at a key level for sure, major resistance, which is about 610. But I mean, overall, I mean, look at this chart. This chart is absolutely amazing in the sense of it's just a terror. It's just going off. This is a clear uptrend, as you can see with the trend line. Our worst case scenario for SPY to pull back, it'll pull back to this line where I'm gonna put an, you know, emoji there so we can see. Ooh, that's a big one. So about there is where we could see a pullback. Um, and it's not really a falling knife until it breaks that trend line. You know what I mean? So understanding what you're seeing, this kid, yes, pull back to this area and basically just go back off again. So what I mean by that is it could do something like this: come down to this level and hit that area and then shoot right back up. You know what I mean? Like that is actually not like a bad move because that is showing us higher lows. You know what I mean? And that these are things that we want to see. We don't necessarily want to be jumping into the market as the market is already high. We want to find a buy low and sell high. So yes, next week we could, or this week, sorry, we could see this pull back to the trend line. Do I think it's going to pull back to the trend line? Absolutely not. SPY is bullish anything over 600. 600 SPY is bullish for sure. So that's just my opinion on it. But SPY is bullish. I don't think that we'll get that much of a pullback on it. But I mean, it's always nice to prepare for maybe that type of pullback. It's more realistic if you look at it that way compared to trying to, you know, guesstimate where it's going to go. If we expect that it's going to pull back to this line, that's just, if it does, it does, and if it doesn't, it doesn't. It doesn't necessarily have to touch that line. It can just pull back to the line. So understand, it doesn't need to be a full blown fallout to the line. It could do something like this little doohickey did. Okay. So that is for our SPY. SPY is clearly in an uptrend. SPY is sitting at a major resistance. Let's see if they can break this resistance this week. So for me, I am definitely bullish on SPY. Next, we have QQQs. QQQ is the same situation as SPY. I mean, the charts are fairly identical. So I'm the same way, except for Q's hasn't really broken and made a new resistance yet. It's kind of just sitting in the resistance that's there. I would like to definitely see it push up to like 540. That would be a nice move for a continuation of bullishness. But I mean, overall, it is still moving bullishness. Right. So with news, we have a short week. I would say definitely play careful, like always. I always suggest you to play careful. But let's get to the charts. So we have a good amount of plays, and that's just because I did not make a video last week. I was sick with the flu, so I am well now, and those plays are still in play, so they're going to be, in this video. Let's start with the first one. All right, first one's going to be Mara. If anybody has been paying attention to Mara has been getting hammered for a little while now. But it does have earnings coming up, so I'm expecting pretty good earnings. They have earnings February 26th, which is not this Wednesday, but the following Wednesday. So you have enough time to play this. And just so that you guys are kind of in my head, let's see what I'm looking at. I'm looking at a break of this trend. That's what I'm expecting, a break of the trend, which would take it up to the 25 calls for March. March 21st, $25 calls are pretty cheap, and I like them. And what I'm looking at is, as you can see, the break of this trend line. So it'd be a break of a downtrend, starting a new trend. That's what I'm looking for. Our next one is going to be Marvel. I'm looking at the 130 calls for March 21st. Next, we have DKS. Looking at DKS puts for March 21st. Man, oh man, I'm liking March 21st for some reason. But no, all jokes aside, the reason why these are mainly out to March, because it gives us enough time. I don't know when you're going to watch this video. I don't know when you're going to see this trade. So it at least gives you some time to be able to capitalize on some gains if you do happen to get it a little bit later than this Monday or Tuesday. Next, we're looking at BMO $100 calls for March 21st. We got two with this one. We got 89 calls for May 16th, and these ones are already technically in the money or at the money already. So these ones will already be making money. Just be a matter of you holding and, having your trading plan when you're trading these ones. And then your next ones are going to be 95 calls for March 21st. Either one, they're all good. Next, we're looking at EL, $70 calls for March 21st. Looks like we got a few for silver. All right, so our first one for silver is going to be the $30 calls for March 21st. Next, we have the $32 calls for April 17th. And then we have the $30 calls for June 20th. So you have three different strike prices, time durations that you can get in, get out of this trade. Next, we have CAT. We have CAT $450 calls for August 15th. And there is going to be a while for earnings. They don't have earnings until about May, so you are pretty safe with these ones. Next, we have GEO, $29 calls for April 17th. Next, we have DOC, USign, so DOCU, $96 calls for March 7th. So this is actually probably one of the earliest contracts that I've called out thus far. Next, we got Piton, $10 calls for April 17th. Next, we have TDOC, $17.50 calls for April 17th. This one is very risky, but I absolutely love Netflix. I love the payout on Netflix contracts, and if you can definitely get them at, a good time, a major drop, they pay very, very well. So I am going to call it, even though this is a weekly, we're looking at $185 calls for this Friday, February 21st. If you are not in this call already, being that tomorrow is Tuesday, look to get this trade Thursday into Friday. Thursday is going to be probably its most cheapest time, pretty much midday of the market. It's going to be at its low, and it should basically pop up if it's going to be continuously bullish. So obviously look to see if it's going to stay bullish, but if it stays bullish, look for this strike price. You could probably sometimes scalp some nice $20-$30 contracts, and they run to $200-$300, and it's just happy Friday for that. All right, so this one I'm keeping on. It is a weekly, so good luck on that trade, guys. Next, we have Moderna. Looking at Moderna puts, 2250 puts for October 17th. So these ones, oh man, there's a lot of time on these ones. These ones you don't even really have to snatch up yet. But I mean, look at this chart. Yeah, I mean, I can't even really scrunch it down much more. But there you go. It's in a downtrend, and it's been rejecting this trend line. It had bad earnings, so definitely more of a drop to come for this one. Next, we got BILI, $20 calls for March 21st. Next, we got U, $20 calls for March 7th. And our last one, which is Lyft. Lyft has been trading really, really well. There's been a lot of money to be made on this contract or on this stock. But we're looking at the Lyft $15 calls for April 17th. Very, very, very good stock to play. Very, very cheap stock to play where you can get multiple contracts, make a good 10 to 20%, get out, and rinse and repeat all over again. So that is it. There is a lot of plays for you guys this week in the video. Like always, good luck trading. Play safe, play smart. We have a 4-day trading. So if you are like me and you don't trade on Fridays, you have a 3-day trading series. So I would say if you don't have to trade for the week, don't trade. If you do have to trade, look to trade that Tuesday and Wednesday, and then probably be done Thursday and Friday and call it a wrap until next week. But that's not financial advice. That's just me suggesting ideas. Don't burn your money if you don't have to. All right. So happy trading, guys, and good luck this week. See you next week.